What's going on, guys? My name is Renegade. Today we're here to talk about the log experiment. Now, before I explain all this, I've got a couple of quick disclaimers. First of all, this video is unscripted, so if you don't like me rambling on about this, then by all means click off the video now. 2, I will be doing more videos around this log experiment. This experiment I conducted was a pretty big sacrifice for a lot of players that got put with me when I was doing this experiment. So, to all those players, I hope you understand that I am sincerely sorry for being a cunt. I was being a cunt, and I stand by the fact that, you know, this is a very cunty thing to do. You know, I was not being a good person by conducting this experiment, but the information I have gathered from this and the help I can give to the community from this experiment is hopefully bigger than the skill rating you lost while playing with me. With that being said, though, I didn't play awfully. I didn't lose all my matches. You know, I did win half of them, and I did lose half of them, so take that as you will. I guess it's just like playing with another person that's got a 50-50 win rate, which is the most common win rate to have. Anyway, the experiment was called Log Experiment because the account I played on was called Log. I created Log to play Widowmaker only on. Log, I hadn't played any Widowmaker before I played Log, so it was very, very new for me. So I played 28 hours of Widowmaker and Quick Play on Log to get to myself to level 25 and to be ready for comp. Once I had gone into comp, I started the experiment pretty much. I started assessing the attitudes of players in general, and I started coming up with ideas. First of all, before I start getting into the attitudes of players, I think it's relevant to me to discuss the role of Widowmaker as a hero. So, Widowmaker's role as a hero is kind of argued about a lot, as players often like to associate medals with how well you're doing and how much you're doing your job, but mainly Widowmaker is about getting last hits and about making picks. Widowmaker is about making picks, and so what a pick does, what a kill does on from Widowmaker for your team, is it's going to level the playing field. One pick will make the fight easy to win, especially if it's a healer pick. If it's any pick in general, though, it'll make the fight easy to win for your team. Multiple picks will surely win the fight for your team, and then 3 picks will, you know, it's just a free, you know, just easy peasy win the fight. But one pick per fight, you're doing a job. 2 picks per fight, and you're accomplishing what you should be doing, and you're fulfilling the role quite well. But 1 pick per fight is the minimum. And I pretty safely can say that, you know, I'm able to do 1 pick per fight a lot of the time. Most of the time, in fact. Now, as for the players that you encounter, well, there are multiple types of players. Some toxic, some non-toxic. But the toxic ones, they vary. The worst kinds of toxic players you encounter are the ones that doubt your ability to play Widowmaker, or just Widowmaker's ability in general, right from the word go. Before the match has even begun, before you've even seen how good I am at Widowmaker or how the pick worked out, you've instantly started being either doubtful or completely toxic. Doubtful would be something like saying, I don't know if Widow's going to work out, man. Even then, that is not the right attitude to have, because you're doubting someone's ability to play what they're... Not necessarily doubting their ability, but just doubting the hero themselves. You're doubting Widowmaker as a hero before the match has even started, before you've even seen how it can work out, which is a poor attitude to have, in my opinion. Then there's a more extreme level of that where they're being aggressive about it. They're saying, fuck you, Widowmaker is awful, don't play Widowmaker, pick another hero. I don't get involved when I was conducting this experiment. I would not get involved with the really toxic ones. I would very rarely ever speak to anyone, to be honest. I just was trying to keep it chill and try and let the players go with what they want to do in terms of speaking. I wouldn't try and stop a player from arguing against what I was doing. So those ones are some of the worst, ones that doubt right from the word go. Usually those ones shut up after they've seen that it was working out fine, but often they don't, and often they still continue to doubt, and those are the very, very worst ones. The ones that still continue to doubt even after they're winning the match. And then even after the match is won, they still say, I carried you, or something like that, to justify their statements, or something along those lines. Those are the worst, the very, very worst. However, there are ones that are almost just as bad. There are the ones that will stand by their statements so aggressively that they'll be yelling in your ear as you get a triple kill as a Widowmaker. You make 3 picks directly, like in a row, like bang, bang, bang. I've just killed 3 people, rush in and win the fight, and this person is still with the kill feed, still up, still showing that I've gotten 3 kills. He's yelling in my ear, telling me to switch off Widow, and I've just gotten 3 kills, and it's like, you are not a good person. Those are really, really bad as well. You'll get the players that'll look to blame someone. Those are some of the other ones. They'll always look to blame, and so when it doesn't go right, because sometimes you're gonna lose matches eventually. Sometimes it doesn't go right. Sometimes players will look to blame something in the game. They'll say, maybe if it's just a normal match without a Widowmaker, they'll say, "Hey, Ryan, can you stop charging in? I think you should probably be putting your barrier up more," or something like that. Or maybe like, "Soldier, can you focus down Pharah?" Or McCree, can we get a McCree or a Soldier to counter the Pharah, or something like that. And so it becomes like a thing like, what's the most obvious thing I can blame? If your team comp's fine, then they'll blame the like actions of heroes, so they'll say like, "Oh, maybe fucking Soldier, focus Pharah." But if there's no Soldier, then they'll say, can Pharah switch to Soldier? And if there's a non-meta hero, they'll say, "Non-meta hero, can you switch to a meta hero?" They won't say that, but they'll say, "Widow, can you switch to Soldier?" Hanzo, can you switch to Reinhardt, or something like that? And so those players are really bad as well, because those players aren't able to assess the situation properly. If I'm performing my job correctly, and as I explained before, my job is to make picks. If I can make picks and perform my job properly, and we still don't win, then it's within my belief that unless I'm performing really poorly, it's not my fault, it's someone else, or perhaps the entire team, or something else is in play that's making our team the losing side. Even when Widow is countered, she can still perform her job correctly. It doesn't, just because Winston's diving me doesn't mean that I can't make 2 picks before Winston dives me. So it really does depend from situation to situation. I'm not saying that I never ever got to a situation where I was being countered and I should have switched, and it was the best thing to do for our team would have been for me to switch. But most of the time, you get someone that says like, "Hey, can you switch off Widow to Pharah or to McCree or something?" when we don't even have a tank on attack. It's like there's 6 players on a team, and I'm performing my role correctly. Someone else needs to be able to switch in the situation. It could have been me that needed to. It could have been me to switch, but the guys are always first to, not just guys. I mean, just players. Players in general are always first to blame the most out of whack thing on their team, despite how they're doing. And I'll say, "I'm on gold kills," or I'm performing my role as well as I possibly can, and I'm doing a good job of it. And this person will still say like, "Fuck you, doesn't matter that you're on gold kills, doesn't matter you've got 28 last hits, fuck you, get off Widowmaker." Like they'll just stand by what they've said despite all the evidence in front of them, because they're toxic, because they believe that Widowmaker is a poor choice to have. And so, look, I'm not saying Widowmaker is a good hero to pick. She's a very hard hero to play, and it took me 28 hours to get to the point where I would get placed in gold. I got placed in gold, and I'm still in gold. It took me 28 hours to learn Widowmaker to the point where I'm in gold. So don't come away from this video thinking you can just go in and start playing Widowmaker. I don't recommend it, honestly. If you're gonna master any hero, I'd recommend mastering someone who's got better payoff. But I think a lot of players do need to be able to assess the situation more broadly and think, we do have a Widowmaker, but what else could be our issue here? We don't have a Reinhardt, we don't have a Lucio, we don't have any healers, we don't have any tanks. So could we ask maybe someone else to switch then if the Widow's not switching? Or maybe I should switch to tank, or maybe someone else should switch to healer. So instead of singling out one person, you maybe should go, "Hey guys, we need a Reinhardt on attack on Hanamura. We need one because the enemy team has one, because we're taking damage and the enemy team isn't taking damage. So perhaps we need to level the playing field in that respect. So hey guys, can we get a Reinhardt?" Anyway, this is going to be one of many videos I'm doing in this series, the log experiment. So if you guys want to see more of this stuff, leave any comments in the comment section down below regarding this experiment. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.